Rise, man.
The Force will be with you.
What about the droid attack on the Wookiees?
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Star Wars Meg, back with another Mandalorian Season 2 news update. So in this one, we're going to be doing things a little bit differently, because initially I had planned to do my daily news show as I normally would, and I will be covering the articles I initially was about to, but first I want to speak about something which has come to my attention. Over the last 24 hours, quite a few people have asked me to react to the Heavy Leaks video where he speaks about potential plot leaks for Episode 5 or Chapter 13 of Mando, which drops this Friday. The one where we're finally going to see Ahsoka Tano in live action form, portrayed by Rosario Dawson. I could not be more hyped, and I'm sure you guys are very excited as well. So on the subject of these supposed leaks, I did watch the video, and massive credit to Heavy Leaks for making the disclaimer that nothing can be confirmed with certainty and that he used multiple sources for his research. So there were a few things in that video which I was like, okay, that could be the direction the episode goes in, but there were some things which didn't kind of add up to me in my own mind. Now, for obvious reasons, I'm not going to be putting forward these spoilers explicitly here. If you do want to hear about them, go to his channel if the video is still up, because as he made clear in his video, it's very likely that Disney would flag it and that it would be taken down. But the main takeaway of that video was the fact that Baby Yoda gets given a name. I'm not going to say the name, but it does rhyme with Rogu, which if you're an American Dad fan, as I am, you'll know that that was the name that Roger named his tumor. So yeah, I'm not too sure how I feel about that name. It does sound like something Disney would name Baby Yoda, but let's be honest, Baby Yoda is going to be a cultural name that's going to stick to that character pretty much forever. And so let's get back to the news update that I originally was going to do, and also in this video we're going to be talking about new information about the runtime for Season 2, Episode 5, Chapter 13, which drops on Friday. Enjoy the video, guys. So we're going to start by speaking about Moff Gideon, and this article is from CBR, and they write, Moff Gideon's plans may bring more legends back into canon. With fans hyped for the imminent arrival of Ahsoka Tano, it might be easy to skim over some of the implications laid out in The Siege, but Moff Gideon's final scene in the midst of another secret lab will no doubt have far-ranging consequences for the series, and possibly for fans of some well-liked Star Wars lore that had previously been shunned from canon. At the end of Chapter 12, The Siege, we see Moff Gideon and what he's been up to, creating Dark Troopers. This is indeed a callback to a non-canon but beloved video game, Star Wars Dark Forces. During the game, a Jedi eventually uncovers the Dark Trooper project and must attempt to sabotage it before the galaxy is overrun with the deadly droids. One Redditor first brightened the key scene and revealed figures that resemble the Phase 3 Dark Trooper. They are large, sleekly black, and on closer inspection their stiff uniform hands and torso piping make them seem far more droid than human. Even more compelling, the English audio description track for the episode calls the dark figures Dark Troopers. Dark Troopers may be exclusive to the Legends category these days, but they made a huge impact on the franchise in the 90s. Inspired by the popularity of Dark Forces, developers increased the ranks of potential enemies for the game Star Wars The Force Unleashed. Purge Troopers were unveiled with lore, eventually linking them to the Dark Trooper project. Later, Inquisitorium troopers based on the hulking Phase 3 droids were used in Star Wars Galaxy's MMORPG trading card game. Even the beloved 2004 Battlefront game got into the act, using Dark Troopers for deadly special units. If the figures in Moff Gideon's lab are bringing them back into canon, the question why he needs the child and his midichlorian-rich blood is still unanswered. However, there's still potential clues within the Troopers' lore to examine. Phase 0 of the project was cybernetic in nature, an attempt to revitalize wounded veterans of the Clone Wars with implanted machines similar to Darth Vader. Now this is where I have a theory in that the Dark Trooper project is separate from the cloning project we see on Nevarro when Cara Dune and Greef Karga, along with Mando and the Mithril, go to check out the Imperial base. In my opinion, Moff Gideon's project is separate from the cloning facility. I think the cloning may link to potentially Snoke or bringing back Palpatine, and so they're trying to use a force sensitive such as the child, and maybe they'll even capture Ahsoka. But with regards to the Dark Trooper project, that might just be to have reinforcements for the Imperial remnants to make them stronger. So personally, I don't necessarily think they're trying to link the two. So now it's time to talk about Chapter 13, which drops on Friday. So as I stated in my news update a couple of days ago, the title is rumoured to be The Jedi, and whether this is a collective term or a red herring, or it's referring directly to Ahsoka is yet to be seen. But we now have a rumoured runtime. So according to Games Radar, The Mandalorian Season 2 Episode 5 runtime has seemingly been confirmed by a leaked listing, and it could be one of the longest chapters so far. The Mandalorian Season 2 and the Disney Plus series as a whole isn't quite consistent with its runtimes. We've had everything ranging from half an hour to over 50 minutes in Mando's short lifetime. Now the Chapter 13 runtime is seemingly set. Courtesy of FSK, the German equivalent of the BBFC and the MPA, Chapter 13 of Mando will just run over 45 minutes. 45 minutes and 6 seconds to be precise. If that's true, and it's still something that we need to take with a pinch of salt, even if other early leaks such as last week's episode synopsis were proven correct, then that makes it the third longest episode out of the 15 we've seen so far in The Mandalorian. Only The Mandalorian Season 2 premiere starring a certain Cobb Vanth and the Taika Waititi directed Season 1 finale had runtimes that exceeded the one we're potentially getting this Friday. They were 55 and 49 minutes respectively. On top of that, the episode after will reportedly be the show's shortest yet, at a Baby Yoda-sized 32 minutes. Star Wars giveth, Star Wars taketh away. Now that is such a mouthful if you're from the southwest of England, like I am. But with Mando heading to Corvus to seek out Ahsoka Tano and Dave Filoni directing this week's episode, it makes sense for it to be a bumper one. We could get some serious Jedi action, as well as the looming spectre of Moff Gideon's Dark Troopers in hot pursuit. Just make sure you clear some time this Friday. I'm so excited for this one, and I'm sure it's the most anticipated Mandalorian episode probably ever, with the exception maybe of the premiere of Season 1, but then again we didn't know what to expect. So yeah, I'd say this one is the most anticipated one, but you let me know what you think in the comments down below. So finally on today's show, we're going to be speaking about Snoke and the potential of the clones that we saw in Chapter 12 being part of the plan from the Empire to bring Palpatine back to life. So Screen Rant writes, the Mandalorian music points towards Snoke origin theory. I spoke about this yesterday, but this article has dedicated quite a few words to speaking about it. The Mandalorian's music subtly supports the theory that Moff Gideon's experiments with Baby Yoda will ultimately lead to the creation of Supreme Leader Snoke. Chapter 12 finally reveals why the Empire wants Baby Yoda. It seems Moff Gideon is essentially running the Empire's own super soldier program. His scientists have learned how to extract blood from a Force sensitive and inject it into another being, and they hope this will grant the host Force powers. It's a chilling idea that's never really been explored before in Star Wars, and if successful, it will mean that the Empire can create an army of dark side warriors. No doubt the Empire will choose their most loyal and skilled candidates to undergo the process. Attentive viewers would have noticed the similarities between the Imperial laboratory in The Mandalorian and Palpatine's laboratory on Exegol in The Rise of Skywalker. That naturally led to speculation that Moff Gideon's experiments may ultimately lead to the creation of Supreme Leader Snoke. It's easy to miss, but one subtle detail in The Mandalorian Season 2 Episode 4 supports this theory. When Mando and his team explore the Imperial base on Nevarro, the music is hauntingly familiar. It's not an exact match, but it bears marked similarity to the score associated with Supreme Leader Snoke in The Last Jedi. It's similar enough to feel like a very deliberate tease. Now this is something I did mention in my full breakdown. I was very quick to note just how similar the themes were between Snoke's theme and the music we hear in this episode, which is also very parallel to Palpatine's teachings, a piece which was written for Revenge of the Sith when Palpatine tells Anakin about Darth Plagueis. So that is all I have for you guys today. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I will see you tomorrow for another news update. I'm Star Wars Neg, wishing you a phenomenal rest of the day, no matter where you dwell in the galaxy. Have a good one.